All right. Welcome, ladies. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to be talking about marketing with ease and authenticity. And my name is Claire Luffman, business mentor. I know a handful of the folks that are on the call, but we've got lots of new business women who signed up for this webinar. So I'm just excited to be here and to get to know you. And just real quick, as we're recording it, just wanted to let you all know, first of all, I'd love for you to run out to our Facebook page. Just go to facebook.com, Dream Unlimited. And I just posted a post saying that we're here. We're going to be live at 1:30 because people can actually click on that link and join us. So I'd love for you to click on like or share and just click on the share button, and then you'll be able to share that with your friends and anyone who happens to be on right now who is a business owner and wants to learn how to market with ease and authenticity. That would be wonderful. Also, again, making sure you can hear. So I've got this slide up for, I know so there's some people who just logged in this minute. So making sure that you can hear. Now, we've, all right, great. We got, yeah, go ahead. There's a chat function on the right-hand side. Chat away. Get to know each other. We got Lynn saying she's from wet and dreary upstate New York. Lynn, I'm a fellow New Yorker. I'm originally from Long Island, but down here now in North Carolina. But great. So you guys see that chat function. I'm going to have it minimized sometimes and open it up. I'm going to open it up to see what questions you have. I want you to be chatting throughout, so feel free to do that. There's actually going to be certain points where I'm going to be asking you some things as well. So I want this to be real interactive. I know obviously I don't hear you, which is great. So I do want to let you know that. You all are on mute, so don't worry if there's a crying baby or anything going on in the background, okay? But that chat function is there. So great. We got folks from North Carolina, and wonderful. Okay, I'm going to slow this down for a bit. Lynn's asking if there's going to be slides. So yes, are you not able to see the slides right now? Lynn, are you able to see this slide that's on the screen? No, you can't. Okay. What about Malia? Malia, are you able to see the slides? I have them shared. Okay, Malia can. It may just be a technical glitch, Lynn. Well, the fact that you're on the webinar, you should definitely be able to see the slide. That's sort of automatic. So you may want to, I don't know, you should be doing something right. I mean, you're just clicking on the link. You can't see them either. And you clicked on the link. Let's see if I go to the next slide. Amy can see them. Okay, so most of you can see them. And okay, great. Most of you can see them. The couple who aren't able to see them, I'd probably encourage you then just to quickly get back out, and you may want to just get back into the link. So maybe Linda can see them now. Hopefully you can. So again, if you click on the link, you should automatically be able to see the desktop slides, and then that's automatic. The thing that's not automatic is hearing. So that's where you got to click on the mic and speakers button or on calling in. But also know that if anyone's having a technical glitch and can't see the slides, I will be recording this, and I will send it out right after. So you will be able to easily see the slides since I am recording it for you. So all right, let's go ahead and dive on in. Again, I see a couple of names that I recognize, but so many folks are new. So you may not know, who is this Claire character? And just real quickly, I am a proud wife to that lovely man, Eric. He's a high school teacher. We've been married for about 10 years, and I'm a proud mama to sweet Dylan. He's 7 years old and in second grade, and I am a strong Christian. So you may hear me, and I just want to be open about that, because you may hear me share it throughout the webinar just because it's sort of part of who I am. But that's our picture from their Panthers fans from North Carolina, and I know we had someone from New York, and I'm a Giants fan. So you see me there with my Giants gear. Giants not doing so well this year. I don't know if any of you are sports fans and have your football team that you love. Panthers at least made it to the playoffs, but they are out of it in the first round. But it was fun to watch them at least one round. And I am so passionate about being in the home. And you know what? When I say that, coming out of college, I was this corporate girl. I lived in New York City at the time, and I worked in the World Trade Center when that was there, and I was in accounting, and I was working my way up the career ladder, and I was all about that, right, being this corporate girl and moving up the career ladder. And never would I have thought that I had a passion for getting back in the home. It almost sounded archaic to me, but oh my gosh, it is so such a joy. It's where I'm meant to be. I just want to continue to grow into that wife and that mother and that friend and the daughter that I want to be. And in order to do that, I needed to have a significant, profitable business. Like I said, my husband's a teacher, and I love that he's a teacher. He's actually a teacher in, since we are in North Carolina, it's one of the lowest paid salaries, the state. And so it wasn't going to be a reality for me to be able to stay at home. And I needed something that wasn't just going to bring in, $1,000, $2,000 a month. I was the primary breadwinner. So I know there's other folks in that boat that want to get back in the home but are wanting to make, $6,000, $8,000, $10,000 a month. So I'm so passionate about helping them get back into the home. And I've been training and coaching for as long as I can remember. So I started out of college, like I said, as an accountant for a couple of years, but then I quickly got into human resources and training and coaching and got my master's degree in that at NC State. And then I had my own network marketing organization. This was about 10 years ago. So my favorite thing is that, I had this whole group of women, and I had my weekly training meeting with them, and I loved it. I loved to train and sort of simplify information and encourage them. But then I realized that that was my calling, right? And I wanted to do that for all women, regardless of what business they were in. And that's how this business came about. It started out with the name Dream Unlimited. Then it went to Six Figure Success Habits, and now it's Claire Luftman, Business Mentor. And I grew this company from scratch. It's been over the last 3 or 4 years, very short time, considering that when I decided to grow this business from scratch, when I only had a dream, right? I had this seed of desire. And I said, you know what? I just feel called to help more and more women. And I didn't know what that was going to look like. I didn't know what I was going to be selling. I didn't know who exactly I was going to be helping or how. But I just took baby steps towards making that seed of a dream into a sapling and then into an oak tree. And like I said, it was going to be, relying on our husband's salary. At the time when I had this dream and desire, I had been home. Dylan was, just a couple years old, and I had been home as a Mary Kay sales director. But I said, you know what, I feel so called to do this. But gosh, I'm starting from scratch, right? Or maybe you are, or you were like this a year or two ago. And I was like, I don't even have a company name. I don't even know what the heck I'd be selling. I don't even have any content. I don't have any curriculum. I just have this desire and knowing this is God's purpose for me. So I decided to go back to work. I cried and cried and cried. But I said, you know what? I want to build this business out of a place of joy and abundance, not having to stress about whether we're going to pay the bills. And I didn't want to build it from a place of, need and scarcity. So I'm so happy with that decision. But I was then having to grow this business during my lunch hour, essentially. I worked on Tuesdays, during my lunch hour from 12 to 1, and I worked Thursday evenings. That's when I would be coaching clients. And then Saturdays, I blocked out Saturdays from about 10 to 3. And that's when I write my newsletter. And I did that consistently until a year and a half ago when I left my job because my coaching income had reached my law firm income. And I ultimately grew into this dream business pretty quickly considering how part-time I was doing it. I grew into this highly profitable business where I truly work part-time hours just during the day when my son is at school. It's real important for me to do that. It's real important. I drop him off, and then when the bus comes, about 3:40, I shut off work, and I get into mommy mode. And I go to the bus, and I watch one of our neighbors, and that's my joy. So I do work part-time hours, and I was able to do it by being authentic and being consistent, right, by just being me, just being Claire and saying, hey, this is who I am. Some people I'm going to resonate with, and some people I'm not. But it's really the best way to market anyway, which obviously we're going to be talking about today, about marketing. And it's about I was consistent, right? I would write those e-newsletters on Saturday when I'm sure there was a zillion other things that I wanted to do. And, of course, part of me was thinking, well, is anyone really going to notice if I don't send out this email? But I did it anyway. And who I'm all about in this dream business has really taken a change over the last 4 months, where at this point what I do, I've completely changed my business. I don't have informational products. I don't have coaching packages. I don't have hourly rates. I don't do that. What I do is I've taken a stand for women like you, and I've changed my role to be one of a mentor and wanting to get my clients to experience significant results. So not just information, not just knowing how to do things, but I want them to get significant results in the shortest, easiest path. So I work with very small groups of women at a time over 3 months and focus just on getting their profitable offer, figuring out what that is and the price point and how to describe it, getting that up and running. We learn how to, or they actually do, they open up the floodgates to more and more ideal clients. So they get a couple of their rinse and repeat marketing strategies up and running. They do webinars, and then they're actually selling people into their offer in that 12 weeks, right? I want them making money. So I'm not satisfied until I get women these results. So it's a very, very different way to coaching business. But that's a little bit about who I am. And great, Malia, thanks for tackling those questions for me over there. Perfect. All right, so let's dive on in. Enough about me. Let's talk about you. And you signed up for this webinar for a reason. And maybe right now you're struggling a bit. You are like, gosh, opening up the floodgates for new ideal clients, that sounds great, Claire. How do I do that? Maybe you're having a hard time finding new clients. Maybe you're just not seeing the financial results that you want or even need. And when I talk about need, right, that's just the peace of mind number. Like, are you waking up too many nights with that pit in your stomach being like, oh my gosh, how am I going to make money this month? Are we going to have enough to pay the bills? Right? Are you just sort of feeling overwhelmed by how to market? I mean, to open up the floodgates to ideal clients, that's working our marketing plan, right? And I know that so many people are overwhelmed by how to do that because you've got so many strategies at your disposal, which is wonderful, but it can be very, very overwhelming. And then just all of this feeds into this feeling of being paralyzed by fear. And I hope you're not paralyzed by fear, but some of you may be. And I know it's such a hard place to run your business, right? And I know it's easier said than done to work through that fear. But we're all going to experience the fear. We're all going to experience this negative Nelly. We're going to experience the self-doubt. It's how do we work through that as quickly as possible. So I hope that you have someone. I hope you have a mentor. I hope you have a supportive group that when you're having those moments, they're able to help you through it. They're able to help build you up and not tear you down. They're not going to be someone who says, well, what are you doing anyway? Why don't you just go back and get a JOB? So let's dive on in. What the bullets were when you guys signed up for this, what we're going to talk about is what's been sabotaging you from getting more and more clients. I pretty much know. I mean, even though I don't know everyone on this call, of course, actually I don't know the majority of you, but we're all similar. We're all in the same boat. We're all on the same journey. Regardless of where we're at on our journey, we're all on this entrepreneurial journey. And I want to talk about actually how to get more clients by doing less. Yes, hopefully that gives you a sigh of relief, a sense of peace. Yes, I'm talking about doing less. And let's talk about a couple of different marketing strategies. And as I describe them, I'm actually going to be asking you to be thinking about ones that fit your personality, that you're like, you know what, I think I can do that. And then what could a marketing plan look like? I want you all to have a 2014 marketing plan. And you have a plan and you work the plan. That's how you start opening up the floodgates. But so many times we don't have a marketing plan, right? We're doing a little bit of everything. So let's talk about these 4 things. Let's dive on in. Now, first of all, what's been sabotaging you most likely fall under these 3 buckets, right, is that we've been getting sidetracked. We feel like I need to have a blog, right? So we focus on getting our website up and running and our blog site, and then it sort of goes stagnant. We haven't done a blog post in months because someone said, oh, you should be at Google+, and now I'm learning Google+, I'm getting that up and running, and then I'm not engaging because someone says, oh, you should really have a YouTube channel. So you go over there and you figure that out and get your videos up and running and all of that, right? That's what's been happening to the mass majority of you. And I know it's so tempting, right? They call it the shiny object syndrome for a reason. It's so tempting, but it's absolutely sabotaging you. And I would think that it's good news when I'm going to say, just don't get sidetracked. You don't need to do a lot of marketing. instead of, I think I may actually have this quote a little bit further down in the slides, but instead of doing like all of these things and moving like 10 things an inch, focus on less. How about moving 3 things a mile? So maybe it is Facebook, it is blogging, and it is videos, right? And it's just those 3. And then you put your marketing blinders on, and no, you don't need to worry about Google+. And no, you don't need to worry about LinkedIn right now. And no, you don't need to be worrying about podcasting, right? Just move those 3 things so that you're actually getting traction and up and running. Another thing is looking for that magic bullet, right? Thinking, well, gosh, maybe that marketing strategy is going to work. Or you see all this hype online, buy this and you'll get, thousands of new ideal clients and leads, and oh my gosh, there's so much vying for our attention. But you know what? There isn't a magic bullet. I don't know if that's good news or bad news for you. There's not a magic bullet. It's about picking some strategies, getting them up and running, being consistent with them, and then just keep perfecting it. And believing there's overnight success. Again, I think sometimes there is a lot of hype, right? That I started this business and 6 months later I'm making, $10,000 a month. If that's true, which would be great, but if that's true, I can tell you that is maybe, 0.001% of the people that are starting businesses. So don't feel like there's this overnight success. You may see someone and say, well, look at her, though. Look at all that success. You don't know all the work that went into it. And again, it comes down to just being consistent. But picking things that you're confident, strategies that you're confident that you can, that you can do consistently. And I'd love to continue to chat in the chat function what you believe has been sabotaging you. So good. Yeah, I'm just looking through the comments right now. So absolutely, starting and stopping. Yes. And it's, what does that leave us? That leaves us drained, tired. We spent money on things. And it leaves us, unfortunately, with our negative Nelly being super loud, being like, see, I told you so. But it's not you, and it's not, maybe even not that strategy. It's just that we didn't give it long enough. And I think the next slide actually, let me jump on. Oh, yes, I love this slide. Again, I always say that I wish it was like a woman. But a lot of times, again, we're moving on too soon, right? We're moving on to the next strategy before we fully maximize that current strategy. So the visual that I love to show you, and I just want you to remember this, and ask yourself if you're doing this. Because anytime we're starting a new strategy, it is like pushing a boulder up a mountain, right? If you're going to start a YouTube channel and do a weekly video, there is a learning curve, right? What video camera am I going to use? What am I going to say? How do I load it up to YouTube? How do people find the YouTube, right? There's going to be a learning curve with every marketing strategy, and that's pushing up the boulder up the hill. But what do we do is we get it up and running. We do it for a tiny bit, and we say, that's not working. So we let the boulder come on down, right? Either because, again, we didn't see, like, immediate success, or we were off to the next thing, off to the next new shiny object syndrome. So where you're not benefiting from is you're not benefiting from the gift of momentum, right? You're not getting to experience what it's like for the rock to go over that hill and to go like, whee, where it's snowballing, right? And you're getting the referrals and you're getting this, and people are starting to hear about you. And when that happens, it's the best thing ever. And you're like, oh my gosh, where did all this come from? You know where it came from is you consistently pushing that rock up the hill and continuing with it, over the hill, right? You were just consistent. So if it is a blog post, for example, and blogging and having content, it's not something you're going to see immediate success, right? You get a blog post and you're blogging once a week, you're not going to get tons and tons of clients initially. But what is it about? It's about you do that once a week. Google sees that you're doing that once a week. Someone comes to your website and sees, ooh, she's got a whole slew of articles. It builds that credibility. You see the gift of momentum. but it's after you've been doing it for a bit. So good. All right, yep, you all are saying you couldn't relate. A lot of times, yeah, we love learning, right? As entrepreneurs, we love learning. So we're prone to the shiny object syndrome. And we're full of creative ideas. I mean, to be a successful entrepreneur, that's part of our DNA. We got all these creative ideas, but let's not do all these creative ideas at once. Let's just take a couple and do it. You know what? Let's get your business. You probably heard the analogy of that when an airplane's about to crash, we want to put the oxygen mask on yourself before taking care of others, right, and younger children. And that's the same with your business. Let's put the oxygen mask on your business. Just focus on a couple of things and get your business where your business is bringing in plenty to spare and share, and then you can experiment with all these other fun, creative ideas. But truly, if we can give ourselves that gift of focus and put it into practice, absolutely. But again, I hear these things from my clients all the time. Networking doesn't really work for me. I didn't sell anything at the networking event. I was like, oh, going to an event or two and expecting to sell, that's not a marketing strategy. Marketing strategy is about building relationships with people. And relationships, whether it's online or offline, takes time to develop that know, like, and trust factor. And were you consistent? If going to live networking events is part of your strategy, then what are you doing? Are you going to at least 2 live networking meetings a week, or 1 or 3? Are you holding at least one one-on-one appointment a week with another business owner over lunch or before and after your networking? Those things. Just pick a couple of consistent things and do them consistently. Do them consistently, and then again, we also become more expert at it, right? We're just better at it. Or I'm just not getting any new clients from Facebook. I hear that a lot. I'm like, okay, well, let's pull up your Facebook page. And I'm like, let's see. You haven't even posted anything in like 2 weeks. No one is hearing about you. People are only going to see you in your news feed, and not even, a small portion of your posts are going to be seen even by all of your fans. So if you're just not posting consistently, how can you say it doesn't work? If Facebook's going to be one of your strategies, what can you do consistently? It may be something like I post 3 times a day on my Facebook business page, or I'm spending at least 15 minutes a day hanging out on my business page to engage and respond to fans. All right? So we've got to give the strategy more time. So I love this visual as well. So put on the marketing blinders. Right? The diamond is the shiny object syndrome. Officially today, you all are going to say no to the shiny object syndrome. You're going to put on your marketing sunglasses, and you're going to say, you know what? Today's the day I'm going to be different, because it's stopping you. It's keeping you from getting results, and it's just going to keep you tired and feel like you're spinning your wheels. Okay? All right, so. But again, you're comparing yourself. Oh, but you don't understand. Look at her. Look at Judy. She's getting all these clients, and how does she do it? Something special about her. She's got the secret ingredient. But she'd tell you different. She would tell you it was a journey. She would tell you it took persistence. She would tell you you just didn't see her when she was pushing that rock up the mountain. Right? You're only seeing her now when the rock's going down the mountain, like, whee, and she's seeing all these results. She would tell you it took consistency of doing the same things over and over again, wondering if anyone was listening, wondering if anyone was reading her email, right? Wondering if her efforts are making a difference. Like me, when I said, writing my e-zine, my e-newsletter, when I did it on Saturdays, and I had a very, very small list, but I did it anyway, even though I was wondering, is anyone out there? Right? All right. So that's what's been sabotaging you, truly, is being involved in too many things but not doing anything to its fullest. All right? So it goes hand in hand with the next thing, that you can actually get more clients by doing less. So what does that mean? All of you on the call are not in the same place, right? There's many of you, I'd probably say 70% of you aren't marketing enough I mean, truly, if I were to sit down with you and create your marketing plan, it would be very sparse, what you've really been doing. Maybe take up like a tenth of the page. So many of you aren't marketing enough. And then there are some of you who are working way too hard. The folks who are doing way too many things, right? They're just doing a little bit of everything. So where do you think you are? Go ahead and share in the chat function. I see, yep, not marketing enough, not marketing at all. Yeah. And I understand why. There's a part of me that completely understands why. All right, someone's way too hard, doing a little bit of everything. Yep, so it's one or the other. Now, why some folks aren't marketing is because they are like, oh, I just don't like sales and marketing. I think I saw that comment earlier. And they're like, I'm a massage therapist because I love being a massage therapist. I love my craft. The whole thought of sales and marketing, right? Sometimes it's that. Or sometimes it's just that you haven't sat down and thought of a plan. You haven't thought through, okay, there are all these strategies, but which ones am I going to pick? Which ones feel right to me? So a lot of times it's about creating a plan and working the plan and getting better and better at the plan. All right, so getting more clients by doing less. First of all, it is identifying who the heck you're marketing to. And that's another thing, and let me open back up the chat function here, is a lot of times folks feel they're marketing to everyone, right? I'm in skincare, so I'm marketing to anyone with skin. Well, I can tell you that your marketing efforts are going to be very difficult. And yes, anyone with skin can utilize your products, but how are you going to market to everyone with skin? I mean, where are they hanging out? They're hanging out everywhere. You can't be everywhere, and you can't be all things to all people. So every year, y'all are creating your 2014 marketing plan. Now, some of you may have created a marketing plan before. I mean, I know, again, some of the familiar names that I see, I know I've created a marketing plan before. But ask yourself, what, has my ideal client character changed at all? Adjusted at all? Because mine did, and I'll introduce you to my new client character, and I'll tell you about what I mean by a client character. But it's about knowing who the heck I'm going to market to, because I can market to a lot of people too, right? First of all, I could have just been, if I just wanted to help women and help them, get back in the home, I could have been like a life coach, right, and helping them with anything with their life. Or I can have a business, but I can help them maybe in any type of business. Or maybe it's just people that are working at home. Maybe it's just people who are service-based providers. I've gotten really, really specific, and it's been an evolution. But another thing to know is that, and to be okay with, and it's going to give you such relief, not everyone's going to be your ideal client. Not everyone is going to be your ideal client. And an example that I love to say is, I don't know if anyone's with Melaleuca. I love the Melaleuca products. Now, I'm a perfect example of where if someone had approached me 6 years ago about Melaleuca, before I was even slightly interested in natural products, I would have said, no, I'm good. I just pick them up. It's so easy. I just pick them up at the grocery store and using my Clorox bleach. I was not an ideal client for Melaleuca, and I would not have wanted to be convinced of such, right? That doesn't say Melaleuca products aren't great, because they're great. Then I got to be a point, especially when I'm a cancer survivor, and I was looking for natural solutions to almost everything, right, bit by bit removing the toxicities in my house. Then when I heard about Melaleuca, I was like, this is perfect, great, and I became a Melaleuca client. And Melaleuca is the same, right, but I just changed. I was looking for a solution. This looked perfect. It was introduced to me. And then I'm verging on the point where I want to learn how to make my own cleaning products, right? And if I ever get to that point, I, again, would not be a Melaleuca ideal client, because I am not looking for that type of solution. I'm looking for someone to teach me how to make natural cleaning products. So you could just see, again, for us just to take it off, skin off our back, that the Melaleuca products stayed the same in my whole transition. It was just there was points in my life where I was their ideal client. I was looking for that solution, So know that and be okay with that. And not be in the convincing game. The sooner we can get out of the convincing game, it makes sales and marketing so much better. It takes the ick factor out of there. Absolutely. So what do I mean by an ideal client? I mean, I've heard health coaches say, well, I just want to help people, right? Anyone with a life feel better and lose weight. But again, anyone with a life who wants to feel better and lose weight, that's a lot of people. And your marketing message may be a little bit diluted, so it just sort of sounds like a sales message, right? But what if you think about, like a health coach can focus on brides maybe, if that's their passion. What about focusing on brides who want to lose weight for their wedding? Then you figure out, well, where are bride-to-bees hanging out, online and offline? They're on the Knot forum, theknot.com, the magazine, or they're at these bridal forums and events, right? So having a booth there may make sense. And then you tailor your marketing message and packages to them, right? It's how to look great how to look killer in your dress. That might not be a great title, but your packages are directly to them. How to lose those 10 pounds before your wedding. How to look stellar in those pictures that you're going to see for years to come. You can imagine that your marketing is going to be so much more effective. You get to know them, that bride, inside and out, and they feel like you get them. You're going to work with other people, right? That bride has a mom, and she saw how you helped Susie lose all this weight, so she wants to start working with you. You're not limiting yourself at all, and I think a lot of times we think that. We feel like we're limiting. You're not limiting. You truly have opened up a whole new world of possibilities. You're not limiting who you're going to sell to. Again, that health coach is not going to, most likely say no to someone, but it's just that you're getting really clear on where to spend your limited marketing time, your limited marketing money, and your limited marketing energy, and you're increasing your marketing effectiveness exponentially, truly. So my ideal client, next slide. So when you think of an ideal client, I always like to have people think of a particular person. You may feel like you're pulling answers out of thin air, but that's okay. Let's just say you're done with this webinar, and you hang up, and you get a phone call. And you get a phone call, and this can either be a fictional person, or maybe it's very similar to someone who you've worked with in the past, like one of your favorite customers who is like an ideal client, an ideal customer. Now, someone's going to call you. So there's going to be someone on the other line of the phone, right? So it's not it's a guy or a girl. They're between ages of 40 to 60. No, it's a person. Just for this exercise, bear with me. It's a person, all right? And this person is going to be a joy to work with. They are looking for a solution. Again, you don't need to convince them. Like for Melaleuca, it was when I had just gone through a serious health issue, and I was looking for a solution. Okay, so there's something going on in their life or their business or their health or there's something. They're looking for a solution. And you know what? They're willing to pay for this solution because they so desperately want that solution. And they're going to get great results, right? They're going to get great results. And they're because of, their specific challenges that you are confident you can help them with. So ultimately, they're going to be this walking billboard. They're going to be like, oh gosh, you need such and such. Oh, you need to check with so and so. You need to check her out. So the paradigm shift then again is it helps you get out of that convincing game. And the sooner we can get out of that convincing game, or our feelings hurt because we feel like that, well, why wouldn't this person want to look great? Why wouldn't they want my skincare products? Or why wouldn't they want a healthy home? Why wouldn't they want to remove the toxins and use these cleaning products? Let's just get out of the convincing game. And I actually even love to have a visual. So, again, a couple of the names that I know is probably familiar with my ideal client that I've had the last year and a half. But this year, 2014, when I adjusted my marketing plan, I created a new marketing plan for each year, my ideal client was Overwhelmed Olivia. And she was overwhelmed, right? She's overwhelmed by information overload. And there's so much information out there about how to plan and how to organize and how to market, and I just wanted to bring it all in one place for her and to break it down into these success habits. And that was Overwhelmed Olivia, and that's how I had my products, right? I had accountability circles for Overwhelmed Olivia. I did business strategy sessions where I met with an overwhelmed Olivia all day long, and we just mapped out her plan. I did these group coaching programs called Six-Figure Success Habits. But 2014, let me introduce you to my brand new ideal client. This is Ready to Ramp It Up, Rhonda. And she's 38. She's got 2 young kids. She lives in a different state from me. She lives in Maryland, let's say. She's a health coach. She knows this is her right business. It's absolutely her right business, but she's stuck with what should my offer be? Like, how do I offer my services? How do I do that? What should my package be? What should my price be? And she's also stuck with how to open up the floodgates, right? Her marketing floodgates. What should be her couple of rinse and repeat marketing strategies? And then how does she sell people into that offer? So that's Ready to Ramp It Up, Rhonda. Again, she's been in business for a couple of years. She already knows she can get people results. She's just stuck. She's just not. She knows she's on the verge, but the money's just not coming in consistently. So this is Ready to Ramp It Up, Rhonda. Now, why is that helpful? Again, not only does it help me figure out, well, what packet, like what does Ready to Ramp It Up, Rhonda need? What results does she want to get in the quickest, easiest way? But it helps me know how to market, because now I'm going to say, instead of me thinking about, well, where people with business, women who have businesses, where are they hanging out? Instead, I get really clear about, okay, Ready to Ramp It Up, Rhonda's. Where is she hanging out, online and offline? Where would she be open to hearing my marketing message? So I had Ready to Ramp It Up, Rhonda, this fictional person in my mind. She's very similar to a client that I've had, but who's had phenomenal results, and want to work with more of that type, Ready to Ramp It Up, Rhonda. So I think, I had this fictional person in my mind now, and I said, now how do I connect with more Ready to Ramp It Up, Rhondas, instead of how do I connect with business owners, okay? Now, let me introduce you to this, and this is where so many of us are stuck. In order for us to have a financially strong business, these are the 3 parts of our sales and marketing funnel. Now, some of you on the call might have all 3 parts of the sales and marketing funnel up and running, which is perfect. There's going to be some of you on the call who are missing a couple of key parts, or they're clogged. If your funnel's clogged, there's not a free flow. Or some of you may realize, oh my gosh, I don't have any parts of my sales and marketing funnel. Let me actually pull out my pen here. Bear with me if it makes the screen a little bit weird for a second. But what we want to do, so let's think about my business, right? I want to be, oops, my pen's not working. Darn. Let me try one more time. I love using my little pen. No, not working. All right, that's okay. So, but you see the arrows on the top, all the way up here. If you think about my business, I want to be filling my funnel with lots of Ready to Ramp It Up, Rhondas. Right? I want to be meeting lots of Ready to Ramp It Up, Rhondas, online and offline, maybe at networking events, maybe to invite her to a webinar, right? So I want to be filling my funnel, and I want to be meeting hundreds. For me, I want to be meeting hundreds of new Ready to Ramp It Up, Rhondas every month, sort of invite her into my space, for me to add some value to her, for her to get to know me. So many of you, you're simply not filling your funnel with enough of your ideal clients. Simply not. You're stuck here. And we also need to know that our marketing plan, right, I talked about having 3 core strategies. Now, one of my strategies is live networking. It sort of has been put on hold for a bit, but part of 2014, live networking is one of my strategies. Now, that's a wonderful strategy. It's a little bit more of a drip strategy, right? I might be meeting a couple of Ready to Ramp It Up, Rhondas. Then I want to make sure that my funnel also has where I just open up the floodgates, like a webinar, right? I mean, there was probably about 130 people who signed up for this webinar. A small portion are already on my list. The majority are not on my list. So that's called open the floodgate strategy. So each of you, what that open the floodgate strategy might look like is different. I mean, some of you may be working at an expo. Some of you may be speaking to a large group where you get permission to keep in touch. But we need to have a couple of those open the floodgate and a couple of the drip where you're able to build those relationships as well. All right, so let's say you're like, nope, Claire, that's not my issue. I'm meeting tons of new ideal clients. So that's not my issue. Oh, no, first of all, if you're stuck there, it's most likely that you don't have a marketing plan or you're not working a marketing plan consistently. All right, then it goes into the next thing, keeping in touch and developing a relationship. So you may be thinking, nope, Claire, that's not my issue. I'm meeting lots of, overwhelmed Olivias or tired Terrys or whoever your ideal client is. But maybe you're dropping the ball the second place. You're getting all these new leads, but you're not keeping in touch. You're not building that relationship. We need to have some type of keep in touch strategy. For me, obviously, it's more your traditional because I'm more of an online business where I do every Thursday, I'm sending out an email, right? It's a basic email newsletter. That's not going to be the right relationship building strategy for all of you, though, but it's just sit on down and think through what is my keep in touch strategy. You need to have something where you're developing that relationship. You're growing that know, like, and trust factor. Or you may be thinking, Claire, that's not my issue. I'm meeting tons of ideal clients. I'm keeping in touch, but no one's buying. Well, if you're not converting to sales, then you're stuck there. And it may be that you don't have that offer, right? You're not offering something packaged in a way where your ideal client finds it irresistible, or the pricing could be off, or the way you're describing it, or you just don't have what I call a sales conversion mechanism. We need to have a sales conversion mechanism, whether it's a phone conversation, whether it's a sales page. There's got to be some way that we're closing that sale. And if any of parts of our funnel are clogged, it's going to equal a low bank account balance. So we want to get each of these parts up and running. A marketing plan, a keep in touch strategy, and make sure we've got that conversion mechanism. Okay. So, yeah, some folks are sharing where they're stuck. So share that as we go on to the next slide. Where do you think you might be stuck? Oh, and one other thing to say is if you are like, Claire, gosh, I'm stuck everywhere. If you're stuck everywhere, start at the top. Start filling your funnel. Start building your list. Start building your lead database, even before you worry about your product sometimes. Because so many times what I see happen is people work so much on their product. Let's say they're a coach, right, and they put together this, like, let's say they're a health coach, and they put together this wonderful program. It's 12 weeks, and then they're like, no one's buying. But they don't have a large enough base to sell it to. You don't have anyone to sell it to, so you want to start at the top. If you're clogged, you want to start at the top, which is getting a marketing plan in place and start to work that plan. Oh, here we go. So when it's all said and done, I think it was I'm forgetting the name of the individual. I should have put down that this is her quote. So ultimately, in a summary, getting more clients by doing less is instead of moving 10 things forward an inch, just move 3 things forward a mile, right? And then you just ask yourself, where am I able to find my client? Where am I able to find more Ramp It Up Rhondas online and offline? All right, so some marketing strategies that might fit your personality, and that's what you want to do is find ones that fit your personality. And just focus on 3 core strategies, right? Like I said, focus on getting those up and running, giving yourself the gift of momentum, and then just getting better at them. That's what it starts with. And your strategies are going to be strategies that fit your personality. They feel right to you. Who cares if they work for someone else if they feel icky to you? They fit your personality. They're strategies that you think you can effectively connect to your ideal client, and they're strategies that you can commit to doing consistently. When they fit all that, that's your sweet spot. And the strategies, I'm actually going to quickly go through some strategies, but you be thinking about if it falls under, you're like, definitely, you don't need to jot this down, but you're either, as I'm saying the strategy, you just tell in your gut if you're like, oh my gosh, I think I can really do that strategy, or maybe, or probably not, or no way in heck, Claire, that strategy sounds so icky to me. And that's what it comes down to, feeling icky. I always say if it feels icky, don't do it. Don't you think you'll find every reason to procrastinate if it's a strategy that feels icky to you? You know? No, not 3 new ones, Sandy. 3, just 3 strategies in total. I create a new marketing plan just to adjust. Are these still the right 3 strategies? And so no, just 3 strategies. And I'll show you, too, what I mean by 3 strategies. But I'd love for you to remember this girl visual as well. If it feels icky, don't do it. You're probably pretty similar to your ideal client, so you're a very good gauge. So what are some strategies? All right, maybe live networking. is a strategy of yours. It's a very effective strategy, live networking, and you can, I'm sure there's tons of groups that are meeting in the area. You can go to meetup.com and see. I bet you there's so many more groups that are going on that you're just not aware of. Or they've got, the more formal groups like BNI or Chamber of Commerce. Live networking is wonderful, especially your first 3 years in your line of work, in your business, because it comes from relationships, right? And you're generally getting business from relationships and referrals. Or what about online networking? Facebook or Pinterest or Twitter or LinkedIn. You don't need to be everywhere. Where is your ideal client? For me, it would be where's Ready to Ramp It Up Rhonda, hanging out. Where do I want to be? My personality, which one am I more drawn to that I would enjoy being there? And where do I think should be most open to hearing my message? Right? Many of you saw this through a Facebook ad or on the Facebook page. So for me, I feel like Ready to Ramp It Up Rhondas are there. Okay, so that's a possibility. Or referrals. Now, all of us probably have some referral business, right? But some of us, this is one of our core strategies. Like maybe you're a massage therapist and you focus so much here on loving on your current clients, right? Sending them thank you cards and the referral machine that you're creating. Or you've got what I call referral partners or cross promotion. So maybe a physical therapist and a chiropractor, and you guys sort of refer each other clients. That could be a core marketing strategy. Or PR, publicity. Maybe you're in the type of work where you're doing like newsworthy stuff. You won an award, or you achieved a certain certification. You can go to plog.org. You see that here, prlog.org. That's a way that you can actually do some free PR. So that could be an example. Or speaking live. There's no better way sometimes than speaking at a live, your own networking meetings or giving your own talk, right? That you actually arrange a talk and you invite other people to it. Or virtually. That's what I'm doing right now. A webinar is speaking. It's a marketing strategy. It's one of my core marketing strategies. Or writing. You can have a blog. You could be a guest blogger. You could take that blog and turn it into an article. Submit it to an article directory site like eZine Articles. You can actually write like a book or an ebook or a Kindle book. Only again if you're feeling like writing fits your personality. You can do it consistently. You think it's a great way to reach your ideal client. There's all those things to ask yourself first. Good. I got some things here. Networking has been great. Absolutely. In the chat function. Videos. Videos are huge right now, right? Because what does it do? It instantly builds that know, like, and trust factor. Someone can watch your video, never met you, but feel like they're starting to get to know you. And they're either going to like you or not, right? People are going to hear my webinar or watch a video and, be like, ugh. That's okay. They're not my ideal client, right? If I don't resonate with them, they probably won't be the most fun people for me to work with anyway, and I'm all good with that. So just be real, be authentic in your marketing. But you can do videos, for your own list or videos that you put on Facebook, or you can have your own branded YouTube channel. So if videos is something that, and again, if it appeals to you, don't worry right now about, gosh, I have no idea how to do it. Right now you just want to pick your 3 strategies. And then you're going to learn it, and then you're going to get up and running. Events. How about vendor shows or trade shows? I'd love to see in the chat function if events work well for anyone. Yeah, it looks like we got some events going on. Events can work well for people, or trade shows. You can go to actually tsnn.com, like that health coach. If she focuses on the bridal industry, I'd recommend that she go to tsnn.com and see where there's bridal shows in the area. Or advertising. There's lots of ways to advertise. Not all of them are effective right now, though. Again, there's nothing better right now than Facebook ads, but there's a whole science to it. It's a lot more complicated than just putting up an ad. But it's so much better than like print magazine. Well, generally speaking, of course, it would depend on what you're selling. But with print magazine, you can't say, you pay big money and you're not going to be able to say, okay, I only want this magazine to be seen by women who are between 28 and 48 and who live in Raleigh, North Carolina. You can't do that. But with the Facebook ads, you can. You could say, I only want this to be seen by people who are like this and then this, and they also like these business pages, and so it's a wonderful strategy. But ultimately, again, you're going to pick some strategies, and you've heard of other strategies, I'm sure, but just pick strategies that fit your personality, that will effectively connect with your ideal client, and that you can do consistently. So let's talk about, when I say then to create a marketing plan out of that, what does that mean? So this is the last bullet here. And a marketing plan, again, it's all about simplicity, right? Focusing on those 3 core strategies. It's about feeling authentic. It's about being consistent, right? It's about getting good and consistent, and then just gaining your mastery, getting better and better at it. So let me just show you an example of how you can flush through a strategy. So let's say one of your strategies is live networking. If it's live networking, then what I ask you to do, or suggest that you do to create a marketing plan, is that you then pick like 3 tactics. Meaning, if live networking is going to be one of your strategies, I don't believe being part of just one group is enough. If it's one of your core strategies, I just don't think it's going to give you enough traction. I also don't think you should generally be part of like 10 groups because how are you really going to get the most out of that networking? How are you really going to have the time to really get to know the women or the people in that group and have your one-on-ones? But then the most important part is this last part here. And if I had my little pen feature, I would be circling at the bottom where it says ongoing marketing action items. And I believe a robust marketing plan has about 8 to 10 of these. And they're very small, intentional things, but you're just being intentional with your marketing. Like I have things here like number 3 is send a handwritten card after each one-on-one. And for those of you who aren't involved in one-on-one, that goes to number 2, have at least one one-on-one meeting a week. It's just where you're building a relationship with another member. And a lot of times what I would do is I would see, okay, who else is going to this meeting? Who else is RSVP'd? Who else haven't I seen in a while? And then I would just shoot them a quick message and see if they can meet quickly before or after that networking meeting and just get to know them. So those just give you some examples of action items where you're going to say, so what? I'm going to these live networking meetings, but so what? What does that mean? How am I going to really get to know people genuinely? Build relationships. So that's the part that just takes you time to shut things off. You shut down your computer, doing all that, and just sit on down and create a marketing plan. Because you're thinking about, okay, what does that mean? So let me give you another example. I'll tell you my 3 strategies. One is live networking. One is the light has flicked on. Okay, hopefully people are able to still see. Let me know if you can't see. One's live networking. One is online networking. And one is increasing my expert status through speaking and writing. So live networking, I want to be part of about 3 groups, 2 to 4 groups maybe. And then online networking, I want to pick just a couple of online sites. So for me right now, Facebook is big. I do post a weekly video to YouTube, so it's YouTube. And podcasting, I do actually do a weekly interview where I interview a light bulb. Sorry, Linda, I got confused. Perfect. I see the light went on, meaning a light bulb. Perfect. And then the third thing that I do under that category is I do interview an industry expert who also serves the same market. And I just interview her, and I put that on a podcast on iTunes. So that's my second strategy. My third strategy, like I said, is increasing my expert status. So what I'll do, webinars, I do a blog, a webinar, and I do what's called giveaway events, where I just give away content, but people are opting in. So that's my marketing plan. And I work my marketing plan, right? And is there a zillion other ways that I can market? Yeah. But I do what? I put those marketing blinders on. So this last part, right, this bottom part here, the marketing action items, that's the most important. So again, you have your 3 core strategies. Like I said, mine is live networking, online social networking, and increasing my expert status, speaking and writing. And then the most important part is you want to be intentional and ask yourself, okay, I'm going to these live networking meetings, but what? Like, how can I get to know more people? How do I increase my visibility? How do I build true relationships with them? How do I start building referral networks, other people, like the example I gave with the massage therapist, right? Being intentional about, my client, what other services do they normally see? They normally see a physical therapist or maybe a chiropractor. Well, great. Let me just start being intentional and start, if there's a new chiropractor at the meeting, let me just meet her for coffee. Right? Asking yourself, well, how do I keep pointing my ideal clients to solutions that I have? So we can start what I call the dating relationship. Those of you who this is the very first time you got on my list because you signed up for this webinar, news for you, we're going to start dating. We're going to start dating. And you're going to hear from me every Thursday with a quick email, or a link to a resource or a training article. But we're going to start that dating relationship. And there might be some point where you're wanting to get married. You move from the dating relationship until you want to get married, and you say, Claire, tell me about this mentoring thing. Gosh, you can get me significant results in the quickest, easiest path. Let's figure out how to do that, right? But some of you want to date for a long time, and that's okay. You just want to receive the emails. Or some of you may be saying at some point, you know what, this isn't for me, and you unsubscribe. That's okay, right? But that's what I want to do with our marketing action items, and also asking yourself, well, how can I just love on my current clients? We forget this, right? We already have current clients. How can we love on them? And I'm guilty of that sometimes. Oh, I'm definitely guilty of that. There's other things I could do to love my clients, with thank you cards and this and that. And instead of finding new, more clients, how do we love on our current clients? So we get some repeat clients, referrals. So overall, marketing simplified. 101, according to Claire Luffman. Let's say no to the shiny object syndrome. Do less work. I'm going to tell you to do less work for most of you, right? There were some of you who said you're not marketing enough. But get your marketing plan up and running and do that. But don't worry about all the other stuff. Less is more. Focus on your core 3 strategies. If it feels icky, don't do it. Have a plan and work the plan, right? Get pen to paper, create a marketing plan, and work the plan. And then just see what's been working and do more of that. If it's been working, do more of it. Get better at it. Don't feel like you need to move on to the next strategy. So that is my Marketing Simplified 101. Quotes from Claire Luffman. All right, so again, last but not least, you ask yourself this. Remember I showed you this slide before. Because the concern is if you don't have this funnel fully up and running or you're clogged, you're not going to get the money, right? So we need to get these pieces up and running ASAP. A marketing funnel, a keep-in-touch strategy, and start selling people into our offer. So you have a choice, knowing that you don't want to keep struggling financially. So you want to get those things up as quickly as possible, right? Instead of just bit by bit, slowly, you have a choice. The sooner you get those parts of your funnel up and running, the sooner you can have that profitable business. And you have lots and lots of people coming up at the top so that I'm meeting lots and lots of ready to ramp it up Rhonda. Okay? Good. I like the simplified approach people are saying. Marketing is less scary. Absolutely. So I want you to be posting any questions you have right now. I know we're right at our time, which is perfect. We got another minute. But any other questions that you can think of. But one thing I'd love to do is, and I know this isn't for everyone, this call, this marketing, is going to apply to every businesswoman, right? Whether you're in direct sales or you're selling a product or you're a service-based provider. But I do want to give a special invitation to you, those of you who are just service-based providers, meaning you're like me. You sell you. You sell your time, your expertise, your knowledge, your solution. You're packaging that to help people solve problems. And what I like to do, you can just have a quick call and just, no obligation, just a chat. I'm so passionate about helping you find that middle part there, your sweet spot business model. So if you are a health coach or a life coach or a web designer or you're packaging your time and expertise and my message resonates with you, where I'm all about having it family focused, right? I build my business around my family, not the other way around, because I'm about working just when my son's at school. If you're like me and want a streamlined business, you want to figure out how to help your clients in the easiest way without, all this one-on-one time and without it taking up so much time. There's a way you're able to do both. There's a way that you can help figure out how to get your clients their results in the quickest, easiest way, and how it could be the most streamlined for you. And then last but not least, looking for highly profitable business. There's many of you on the call who might just, making $1,000, $2,000 is fabulous, and that's what you want, and that's great. My business model is more for the people who are looking for, $5,000, $8,000, $10,000 a month, again, service-based providers. So if that fits you, I'd love for you to go to talkwithclaire.com, and I would love to talk with all of you. Unfortunately, I can't. I've actually blocked out time tomorrow and next week, so I don't have too many slots. But so the sooner you get your application in, the better. But go to talkwithclaire.com. Again, it's just completely no obligation. Let's chat. You might be stuck and be like, I don't know. When you talk about these marketing strategies that can open up the floodgate, but I have no idea what that could be like for me. Or I have no idea how to reach my ideal client. Or I have no idea how to get my sales and marketing funnel up. Or I have no idea how to sell my ideal client into that offer. So if that's you, I'd love for you to go to talkwithclaire.com. And I know we're up, so let me see if there's any other questions. Oh, great. Thank you, guys. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I'm glad you had ahas. I will be sending out the recording as well. I'll be sending all of this out after. So if you think of any other questions after the fact, because I don't see any questions here, I just feel like you guys are absorbing the information. And yep. So again, just how to get my message heard when live networking when someone talks too much. Yeah. Love to chat about that. Live networking, what's big about live networking is for you to have your 30-second nailed, right? That it's so clear. Your marketing message is so clear. People know who you help and how you help them. And you just seem like you're approachable, and you are a true professional. And you take the time to get to know other people. You have those one-on-one conversations. You show up on time, right? You're there. You're active. Then it's so super effective. But I know there was that particular question from Lynn I listened to well. Okay, yep. The other person might be a talker. So anyway, any other questions you think of, feel free to go ahead and shoot me the message once I send out the webinar recording. But I just appreciate you guys being on the line. And don't forget my simplified one-on-one, right? Less is more. Put on your marketing blinders. Create a plan. Get some pen to paper. Get a plan and work the plan. All right, ladies, thank you so much. I appreciate your kind comments. And those of you who had just signed up and new on my list from the webinar, I'm looking forward to starting to date you. Our dating relationship starts now. But anyway, ladies, you have a great day. We'll end the call now, and have a good one. Bye. Take care.